Call the police if you see this smiling wanted man, published over 3 months ago on 13th of August 2024. Who is this man? You could say that this man has been on the run for over 3 months. But why and who from, you may wonder? Allegedly from a bent judge and the police. This man mysteriously turned up in Coventry for this house eviction, and his identity will be revealed in this video shortly. This man has informed myself that he has already navigated past the lower court judiciary service, and his reason why is because he does not trust the lower level British justice system and contacted the Attorney General directly in his matter. More to come in a future video about this man's situation. But in the meantime, it is the 21st day of November 2024 and another eviction day. I'm up early heading to Coventry with what is normally a 2-hour drive. But with 50-mile-per-hour speed restrictions in play here, and for much of the drive south, I estimate a 2.5-hour journey before I arrive. In this video you will witness not only unprofessionalism by the court bailiff and the locksmith, but also hear that warrants are signed by this corporation called Equivo, a company that offers services to resolving unpaid debt, and clearly stating the judge does not sign the warrants, as Equivo signed the paperwork. This has been a focus from many men and women up and down the country this year in 2024. All to seek the truth and highlighting injustice along the way. The bailiff appeared with what looked like a doctor's prescription. This bailiff also had a colleague, but she stayed in the car. The locksmith appeared to be calling the shots, and the bailiff appeared to follow the locksmith's lead, not his own. The locksmith turned up in a silver van.
Right, get their number plate.
Not only did the bailiff try to run someone over with his car, there was also a foreign body in the tyre. There was also many boots on the ground waiting patiently round the back for the bailiff to arrive. Who is this wanted masked man, you may wonder? Well, let's find out, shall we? For anybody who doesn't know who you are, who are you?
What's that, mate?
Who's you?
Mikey P.
Hello, Mikey P.
Intellectual domestic terrorist, always a lovely chap, and still most wanted smiley man. Hope you're well and full of love and light.
We've just seen the bailiffs off, haven't we?
Yes.
Welcome to Equivo. Our calls may be recorded for training and monitoring purposes.
So the possession order provided by the court doesn't need a signature.
Right, so let me just explain. If you look at CPR Rules 40, Judgment and Orders, it states clearly that it must be sealed by the court. Okay, and if you look at case law, Justice Manning, which is a recent case law, it was stated in the High Court that all orders must be signed by a judge. So a warrant of possession under civil procedure rules, not criminal, the judge makes the order first to issue a warrant of possession, correct?
Yeah.
And then every order must be signed and sealed by a judge. And like I just explained to you there, he turned up, it looked like a prescription for the doctors. There was no official court warrant in his hand.
Were you? Coventry?
Yeah.
A lot of people inside your house.
Yeah, quite a few, yeah.
Wow.
And I want to thank all the people that turned up today, that supported me. It's true what they say, blood makes you related, but the people you're not with, the people that back you up, they're definitely your family. And I've had people come up from Kent, I've had people from Sheffield, Huddersfield, Doncaster, Derby, all over the place, Coventry obviously. And I just want to thank every one of you, because that's a lift, mate. That's lovely, that is. It shows you're not on your own. So, yeah, I just want to thank, I'm not going to mention anybody's names in case I leave a couple of people out and they feel a bit like, oh, well, you didn't mention me. I just want to thank everybody collectively. Thank you so much for backing me up. And anyone that didn't come, that's because you probably didn't know about it, because we kept it nice and quiet, because we didn't want to tip them like we did down at Harlow. So, don't feel bad, oh, I'd have come to that, and we know you'd have come to it, but we deliberately didn't put it out there for everybody. We just called a few people. So thank you if you would have come, because I know you would have done, and thank you to them that did come. That's all I want to say about that. Thank you.
There was a couple of suspicious men hanging around the area. Also another one in high vis who can be seen when looking out of the upstairs bedroom window. There are 2 men here. One appears to be on the phone next to a silver Mini parked on the curb. I decided to have a little drive around the area to see if I could find out who they were. 2 police officers with amber flashing lights. How strange. The person in high vis seen from the upstairs window earlier seems to have now disappeared. Then suddenly, there was a knock at the door.
Yeah, here we go.
Just one guy looking
Yeah.
at the house.
Right, go.
Oh, it's fucking Mark. It's all right. They were saying the fucking bailiffs are here. No. These are all queued up.
Better go back inside.
Somebody's scatting you out. Yeah, that's okay.
False alarm. False alarm. False alarm, false alarm.
It's not good. Stand down.
While we're waiting, does anybody know any jokes? What time's bailiff expected?
10:30.
So we've got about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the bailiffs don't always turn up on time.
Yeah,
Have you
that's
any
true.
plans in place in case they don't?
Well, I'll give them an hour if over the time, like say till 11:30. If they don't come up, then obviously I'll ring up and ask why, because they've missed their appointment. And if they missed their appointment, they're going to have to book a new one. That's the way it works. Because my time and my energy is precious to me, and they ain't here to waste my time or my energy. So, yeah, I'll be making a phone call and asking what's going on.
Not long after this, there was another knock on the door.
Good morning. Yeah, it is, yeah.
How you doing? My name's Eviction. I'm from Birmingham County Court.
So, can I see that then?
You can, yeah.
Whatever it is.
No problem at all. This is our warrant of repossession.
Yeah, can I see everything like the judge's name, the signature? And yes, you do.
Signature.
Yes, you do.
No.
Listen, we know the law.
You know
we
what?
know the crack.
Okay.
Right, well, listen.
Just walk past me.
I'm mate.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah, if you want to walk off, walk
it's
off.
fine.
Walk off. Yeah, that's okay.
Come back, no notice.
Yeah, that's all right then. That's stand. Yeah, come back with no notice, he says, yeah.
This is only your first attempt. You can't do no notice.
We know the score, lads. We know the score. You need a fucking warrant, proper warrant, mate. Proper warrant.
Why have you just walked away?
Why are you walking off, lad? Then we've got a job to do. Listen to her.
Sorry, but if you're allowed to, who you are. No worries, babes.
Could I just show you the document, mate?
No. I don't see anything. Yeah. See anything.
Hello there. Just ask you why have you turned up today?
You're a fucking prick, mate.
You're a fucking prick. You don't know.
Yeah, you are. You're acting in criminality.
Yeah.
You are. You need a judge's signature.
Yeah.
Judge's signature.
You need.
Listen, read the document, mate.
What are you doing?
Read the document.
What are you doing?
Read the document.
Whoa!
We've got you filming. We're filming
We're
you
filming
here.
you, mate. We're filming you.
You can't run people over, mate. You're fucking.
Get his registration.
Criminal!
WP24AGP. We just hit someone. He tried running someone over.
Yeah, worried though.
Read the document, mate. Read the document.
What are you doing?
Read the document.
Whoa!
No, we've got you filming. We're filming you here.
You, mate. We're filming you.
You can't run people over, mate. You're fucking.
Get his registration.
Criminal!
WP24AGP.
The bailiff's gone.
Yep.
You made a phone call, didn't you?
Yep.
To Equivo.
Yep.
What do you make of that phone call where the lady was talking about warrants?
Well, as you know, I actually passed power of attorney to my mate Mick, because he's better at speaking and he understands a lot more than me. And I get wound up too easy, especially when the attack's on me sort of thing. When you've gone to someone else's home to help them, it's easy, you've got no anxiety or whatever. But when it's actually on your door, as big as you are or as knowledgeable as you are, anxiety tends to creep in. So rather than me get reactive, because if he says the wrong thing, I'm going to start shaking and losing it. So I don't want to do that. I handed it over to him. I just told him who I was and handed it over to Mick. So Mick was on the phone asking questions. And the one that stuck out for me, because a lot of it, I can't remember a lot of it, to be honest, but the one that stuck out for me was, he asked her, when the judge signed it, you know, where was it signed and all that, and the woman that he was talking to says, no, we sign it and we issue it. And we all sort of like, our jaws was on our chest, as you what? You sign it and you issue it? And she went, yeah, and she must have confirmed it 2 or 3 times, because we asked her from different things.
Let's now play a bit of the telephone conversation for quick reference.
What line because you used to be pouring
Hello,
that bullshit.
this is Amy Equivo. How can I help?
Hi, can I give you a reference number, please?
Yeah, give me one moment.
Hello.
Hi, this is Amy from Equivo speaking. We just need to run through a few security questions.
Yeah.
Okay, give me one moment. Okay, could you confirm your full name, including any middle names? Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. We give authority to Miss.
Yeah, so he can talk on my behalf, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
no worries.
thanks a lot.
Hiya, can you see on your notes there that there was a repossession order for today at the property?
Yeah.
10:30. Well, we've had 2 of your agents turn up, and they wouldn't disclose their identification.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
They wouldn't disclose their ID. They wouldn't disclose their information.
So is that the bailiff or the contractor?
It was the bailiff.
The bailiff. So they didn't present themselves?
No, he wouldn't give an identification, and he also didn't produce any order from the court.
Any identification?
Just to ask a question while you're checking on that, are you aware that the order of possession needs to be signed? And it needs to be sealed, and that's under CPR Rules 31.8 or CPR Rule 40, Judgment and Orders of Sale of Land.
Which one's that? The possession order?
Yeah.
Let me have a look. Give me 1 moment.
Because what he had, it looked like a prescription from the doctors. I mean, maybe he is ill. I don't know, because he wouldn't show his ID and he didn't have a warrant with him.
So the possession order provided by the court doesn't need a signature.
Right. So let me just explain. If you look at CPR Rules 40, Judgment and Orders, it states clearly that it must be sealed by the court. Okay. And if you look at case law, Justice Manning, which is a recent case law, it was stated in the High Court that all orders must be signed by a judge. So a warrant of possession under civil procedure rules, not criminal, the judge makes the order first to issue a warrant of possession, correct?
Yeah.
And then every order must be signed and sealed by a judge. And like I just explained to you there, he turned up, it looked like a prescription for the doctors. There was no official court warrant in his hand.
Is that the bailiff appointment that he showed you? So the one that has the date of the eviction on it?
He was asked to present the warrant, and that's what he presented, and it wasn't a warrant.
Well, he wouldn't even show all of it. It was all folded.
Because the warrant is signed. Let me see. So the warrant that is sent to the court before they do set an eviction, any day, it is signed.
Yeah, well, Michael has not received any official order at all. So if you want to send a copy of that.
Yeah, so we can send a copy of the warrant that we've issued. Give me a second.
From the court, signed and sealed, as per civil procedure rules.
Just give me a second. I'm just going to pop you in a brief hold if that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
While on hold, we will now jump to another part of the telephone conversation regarding eviction notice, warrant number and signatures, which damningly highlights that Equivo issued and signed the warrant. This plot seems to thicken.
Do you have a copy of the eviction notice?
No.
Okay, so it's
No, I want the court order number, please.
So the warrant number is 5
Yeah.
30.
3.
Yeah, and then the claim number is L2.
Yeah. Yeah.
8.
Okay, and what judge signed it?
Bear with me. So when we issue a warrant, it's us, so we sign it to request a warrant to them.
You sign the warrant?
Yeah, and so the warrant, because obviously we issued the warrant, so it's signed by us. As I said, it is signed before they schedule an eviction date.
Okay,
they won't accept it if it's
just to
not
clarify,
signed.
just to clarify that you issued and signed the warrant, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the name is who's issued and signed the warrant?
Yeah, that was myself.
Oh, what's your name?
So
If you don't mind me asking, please.
Amy.
Sorry?
Amy, A-M-I-E.
We will come back to Equivo after mixed reaction to the bailiff. The arrogance of that bailiff, how he just turned around and said, OK, I'll come back with a no-notice warrant.
With no notice, that's right, that's what he said. But to be fair, it's the same company that came along and took Billy's ass.
Equivo.
Equivo, and turned round and blocked his road off at 7 in the morning and this, that and the other in front of his kids, fucking dragging his dad out and all this, that. Yeah, they don't give a shit, because at the end of the day, they're all racketeers and pirates. That's what they are.
You mentioned there, Billy. I mean, just take away mortgages for a second.
Yeah.
How the police turned up for his gas and electric meters. They were like...
Yeah.
It's
a civil offence. Well, it is for hire, and we've proved it. They are for hire, and we've got the paperwork from Merseyside Police with their fucking how much it costs to hire us out. If you want us, you need to pay £120 for a constable, £135 for a sergeant. If you need a dog unit, it's all for sale. It's all, you can hire anybody.
I think it's worth pointing out that the officer who turns up to a job, they don't know whether they're as an officer or a constable.
Well, I don't know. I think you're right to a certain extent, but if you've noticed just lately, I've noticed all the time, and I've noticed it for the last at least 6 months, maybe more, nearly a year. At one time, they were quite willing to show you their warrant card. Now, doesn't matter where you are or what it is, whether it's on the street and you're being lifted, you say to a copper, "Can I see your warrant card?" They say, "Oh, no need to see it. There's my number."
I've got a police uniform. You know I'm not a police officer, don't you?
Yeah, you're not a police officer.
Good. The police officer's uniform in itself is not proof that you're a police officer, so I need to see your warrant card.
We're wearing uniform to show you.
Well, I've worn a uniform, but I'm not a police officer.
We don't have to show it when we've got a uniform on, that is part of it.
See you later.
I'm not speaking to you, sir. Just one question before I go then. Out of politeness, can I just request that you show me your warrant card? Because I've never seen one.
I don't need to show you the warrant card. I've explained to you the situation.
Have you actually got one on you?
Yeah, I have got one on me. But I'm wearing a uniform. I've explained that to you. I've shown you my collar number, so that'll be that. All right. Thank you. Okay.
Well, just before I go, I think you're both rude.
Section 90 of the 1996 Police Act, they must produce their warrant card when asked by a member of the public to see it. If they don't, well, they're impersonating a police officer or a police constable.
The warrant card is to help identify a police officer, alleged police officer in uniform.
Yeah.
So a police officer's uniform is not in itself to assume that they are a police officer.
Well, you can go and get one from a joke shop.
I've got one myself.
That's what I'm saying.
And the police arrested me for wearing it.
Yeah, that's right, I remember, yeah, but they soon fucking dropped it all, didn't they?
And then I sued them.
That's what I mean, they soon dropped it all when you
so
sued them.
they don't know what they're talking about half the time.
Yeah, but what it is, the average Joe doesn't know that they're not supposed to do that. So that's why they get away with it. But as soon as a person that knows the crack puts it on them, then they will not show it half the time now. Well, if that's the case, they're impersonating a police officer. I think that carries up to 14 years, but don't sort of quote me on that one. Then if they do show you the warrant card, well, they're fucked again, because basically they're admitting now they're a constable. So they cannot break Section 26, which they're doing clearly all the time, when they're not showing it. Do you know what I mean? So you've got them either way. You must make them produce it. And if they say they don't have to, and another thing you need to do is film all interactions, film all everything. Don't matter how small it is, film it all, because that covers your back. And if they say you're lying, you can prove you're not lying. Or if they've they are like not doing this and that, you've got all the proof you need. So
well, we've gone off on a little bit of a tangent.
Yeah, I can't help myself.
No, it's all right. I've enjoyed that, talking about the police and how silly they are arresting people when they shouldn't be. There's no mens rea, no actus reus. Anyway, put that to one side.
Yeah.
What's your message to people watching this?
Well, educate yourselves as much as you can, because I mean, I've been doing this now, not this particular thing like the mortgages, but I started off doing what I'm doing 8 years ago, and I'm still got today, for instance, when Mikey P made that took over the phone, he was talking stuff I'd never even heard of, but it was all good educational stuff, and believe me, I will be learning it all, because it's very good what he's on about, and I didn't know nothing about it. So my advice to anybody is educate yourself as much as you can, and if you're not in a rapid response group, join one. And if you're not in one and there isn't one near you, form your own. It doesn't matter if you're on your own for a bit, but you need to do it. And another thing is what holds people back is, oh, I can't do that because I don't know nothing, I've lack of knowledge. Don't let it hold you back, because you'll learn on the job, you'll meet the right people, and you'll pick up things, even accidentally, you'll end up, oh, I fucking didn't know that, and I didn't know that. And that's how you'll learn. But the most important thing is get there, because you need the bodies to support each other. It's no good learning all this if you're not going to support anybody. So
go along and observe.
Yeah, go along and observe. You ain't got to say nothing, just listen to everything and whatever. And you being there as a presence, as a number, helps people. So that's
I believe there's a website now. Have you heard about that?
For what?
Rapid response something? I don't know. I'll research it and I'll put the link in the description. A website has now appeared, making it easier to find local rapid response groups on Telegram in your area. A point of reference while listening to the next part of the telephone conversation with Equivo Google the legal word uttering, and then remember, fraud is a criminal act and ignorance of the law is no excuse. Now back to Equivo with more information about the signature process and the grand scam of things. Did I just say grand scam of things? Well, maybe in some ways like predictive text getting it wrong, I meant to say grand scheme of things, and not scam of things. Oh, and before I forget, I wonder what District Judge Whitehouse would have to say about the grand scheme of things.
Okay, thank you, Amy. So just to clarify then, so you haven't got an actual warrant in your possession that's been signed by the judge?
No, so obviously when we sign the warrant, we send it off to them and then they just send us an eviction notice and then we have to sign that again and send it back to them to confirm that we accept the appointment. So I can send these out to you in the post if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could do that, yeah. Just to clarify, I mean, are you aware these are legal documents?
Yeah.
And do you have any legal standing to sign or issue or sign a warrant?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Do you have any legal credentials to actually issue and sign a warrant for possession?
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. You said the warrant of possession was issued and signed by yourself.
Yeah, so we have to request the court to provide an eviction date for us.
Right.
So we issue the proceedings.
Right.
That's what we do.
Yeah, but do you know that's acting in criminality?
No.
Well, I'm just to let you know, for training purposes, our end, we've been recording the conversation. So
yeah, and all our calls are recorded as well.
which is great. I think you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble because you have no judicial powers to actually issue and sign a warrant, regardless of what you've been sent by the court.
So that's what we do. We issue the warrant and request an eviction date from the courts to proceed with repossession of the property as instructed by our client.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, under civil procedure rules, any warrant of possession, which is what your company is relying upon, okay, they would have had to had a proper court warrant from the court, not you signing it and you issuing it yourself. If you look at the Magistrates Court, sorry to interrupt you. If you look at Magistrates Court Act 1980, Section 125.
Yep.
And look at the Criminal Procedure Rules 13.52. So if you play that back, look into it yourself, I think you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble.
No, so in terms of this, we have been authorised by the court at the first hearing when we receive a court order that allows possession. So it gives us the possession order within 28 days.
But you just said you don't know who the judge was. Do you know who?
No, so at the court hearing it was on the 24th of July. Yeah. That's when the judge granted it was District Judge Whitehouse, and this is on the order for possession.
District Judge Whitehouse. Yeah.
This is on the order for possession, and this grants us permission to proceed with issuing a warrant. So that's granted by the courts.
Okay. So have you got a copy of that court order from Judge Whitehouse?
Yeah, so I can provide this to you. I can send it out with the other document.
Okay. So the agent that turned up today, you don't know his name?
No, so that's not a judge. That's the bailiff that the court send out.
Yeah, I wasn't saying he was a judge. I know the judge ain't going to come to the door. He doesn't get paid enough. So you don't know who the bailiff who attended the property today?
No, so we're not aware, and we do usually wait for them to ring in and just let us know what's happened if the property has been taken into possession.
Right. Okay. So just to clarify, when he's come to the door, okay, he hasn't showed any identification, but he came with a issued and signed warrant, which was signed or issued and signed by yourself on behalf of Equivo. Yeah?
Yeah, Equivo, yeah.
Equivo. Okay, so you issued and signed the warrant yourself, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
For the record, the female bailiff stayed in the vehicle at all times in the car.
Yeah, and just for the record to confirm, The bailiff had another lady bailiff with him in the vehicle, which she didn't get out or attend at all. And when he left the property, he actually drove his car into somebody who was here assisting Michael to look at the paperwork, etc. And when he drove off, he's actually hit one of our friends with his car.
We've got it on film.
And we've got it all on film.
Okay, what I would suggest is, in terms of this, because obviously the bailiff doesn't work with us, you would need to contact the courts and make any complaints with them.
So what bailiff company is it?
It's not a bailiff company. They're from the courts. So you need to call the courts directly, and then they'll just give them the claim number or the warrant number, and they'll be able to let you know.
Right.
And then you can make any complaints to them. But that's not our employee, so we wouldn't really know.
Yeah.
Be able
To be
deal
fair,
with that.
I think you give us.
I will make sure to note that down.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me and being honest with the information you've gave us.
Yeah, no, I do appreciate you calling in as well, and if there was any misunderstanding. But in terms of anything to do with the bailiff, I cannot say 100% because we don't work with them, and we just obviously do any issuing with the court, send anything to the court, then they just send out anyone to the property that works with them.
Just
So
one
you
more.
would just need to
Okay, I get that. Just one more question before I go. Do you have a legal department?
Yes, so this is the legal department.
Oh, so what's your title?
So I'm a paralegal.
You're a paralegal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'm very surprised you're a paralegal when you're signing and issuing warrants. It's very peculiar.
Yes, so that's our job.
I've got the name of the person who signed it then, have you?
Yeah. So that's your job.
Yes, so in order to get an
To sign
eviction date, you have
and
to
issue.
a warrant.
Could you just tell me what law that you rely upon, where you can issue and sign warrants?
So in terms of it's not, well, with the warrant, it's just something that we are able to do because of the court order. We won't be able to just issue a warrant without the court
Oh
order.
no! I know exactly what you're saying. I'm just asking you, where do you get the authority from, lawfully or legally, however you want to look at it? Because you're obviously paralegal into you're learning this stuff. I just want to know what law or legal statute that you're relying upon, which gives you the authority to issue and sign warrants of possession on people's property.
It's just a part of our procedure. If you did want, you can speak with a manager.
No, well, when you send out the issued and signed warrant and the authority from the court, could you also send us a copy of your policy, where that gives you the authority to sign and issue the warrant, please?
Give me a minute. I'll just pop you in a brief hold and check if we've got anything to send out. I'll just pop you in a brief hold if that's...
I'm sure it'd be in your policy and procedures, won't it?
Okay, I'll just pop you in a brief hold.
Okay, thank you.
Please note at the time of publishing this video, the point made by Equivo that the documents can be sent to Mick, they have not been sent in order to be included in this video. The legal department also has a manager. We will hear more from the manager in a few moments. But first, more from Mick about some of the many situations many people find themselves in, and then to a manager of Equivo, when we then hear an interjection from Mikey P with information for further research into matters considered of public concern. Onwards and upwards?
Yeah, onwards and upwards all the way. Don't give in, don't give in. I mean, I know it's not for everybody, but you haven't got to do mortgages. Just do your water, for instance. Get on Sovereign Warriors. We've got a whole thing shows you how to do your water. You ain't even got to do any research. Get on there and look at the water and we'll show you how to do it. And we've done a few things to help you. You need, listen, start to resist or cease to exist.
For reference, Sovereign Warriors is on Telegram and YouTube. I will place a link in the description, along with other links for your reference.
I've been put through to Neil Bradburn.
Right, you need to send that.
Yeah.
Neil Bradburn?
Yes.
Hi, Neil.
I believe you got some questions in regards to the warrant.
Well, I've just gone through all that with your paralegal.
Yeah.
So what qualifications do you have, Neil?
I'm a legal executive.
That's a title.
Legal executive for Equivo, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so Amy's explained that she's the one who issued and signed the warrant.
Okay. Well, we don't issue the warrant, we request the issue of the warrant, and the court issue the warrant.
But she said she issued and signed. What did she actually sign?
Well, she didn't sign anything.
She did. She told me
when
I've got her on phone multiple times. Say she signed it.
Okay. Okay. Well, we don't. We sign, or we sign a warrant, and it wouldn't have been Amy direct because it wasn't her who requested the issue of the warrant. Is another colleague. So the warrant was requested via the possession claims online system. So there's an electronic signature.
So you requested a warrant?
Yes, we request the issue of the warrant for possession.
Yeah, you requested it. Yeah. Is that before? Yep. Is that before the court hearing?
It's not before a hearing. No, it's we've got a possession order. Once that order becomes enforceable, we are in a position whereby if the arrears or the balance is not cleared, then we can request the issue of the warrant for possession.
So District Judge Whitehouse issued the warrant of possession. Yeah.
It wouldn't have been the warrant. It wouldn't have been the judge themselves. The judges don't issue the warrants. It would have been the enforcement section of the court.
So the judge hasn't issued the warrant.
No, the judges don't issue warrants, sir.
The judges don't issue warrants. Okay.
No.
So who is it who issued the warrant?
It would have been the enforcement section at the court. So I don't know specifically who. You would need to speak to the court if you need that.
Wouldn't that be on the warrant?
It's not on the warrant. We don't get the warrant. Is just a request for a warrant. We don't get a copy of the sealed warrant. We just get a copy of the bailiff's appointment.
So the bailiff who comes to the door, what does he need to bring with him?
What does he need to bring with him?
Yeah.
I believe he takes a warrant and the eviction notice, and that's it as far as I'm aware.
Well, you're a legal executive, so you should know this, right? You should know the civil procedure rules around the way warrants should be issued. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
I'm just going to put you on to my legal advocate. Just wait 1 second.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry, can I take your name?
Yeah, it's MK. So we just need to, I'm just trustee basically. So we just need to clarify this because there seems to be some confusion as to, well, you seem to be confused. So we understand that there is no judge in the matter. He's sitting at the bank to divert the currency. So we understand what's going on here. So what he's doing here from the bank, because he doesn't run the court, the clerk does, we all know this. So does your court have plenary jurisdiction to have the authority to actually authorise anything?
I'm sorry, the court? You mean the Coventry County Court?
Yeah, does it have plenary jurisdiction?
Yes.
Oh, can you email across, please, the evidence of that?
Can I email? Sorry, what evidence?
That they've got plenary jurisdiction.
Email the evidence.
That they've got plenary.
Email the evidence that the government's county court.
Right. So you mean the government, the PLC company that's got a DUNS number registered on Duncan about them ones you're talking about, the ones that don't actually have any authority.
There is no PLC county court.
The government county court. And the government's a PLC company, sweetheart. Anyway, moving forwards. So the correct criteria for
I'm not prepared to continue this.
No, I'm going to pass you back there. I'm just going to pass you back.
I'm not prepared to be spoken to like and call me sweetheart.
No, sorry, it's because I'm gay, and I talk a little bit flamboyant. So I'm sorry about that. So moving forwards. So the correct criteria for the warrant, otherwise it's void. You need to have the affidavit of truth witnessed by 3 laymen. That's your rules. You need the lien against the full caps estate, the assessment and the value of assessment. Your colleague already admitted the judge holds on to this, and we know he holds on to it because he's the banker. So what he needs to actually release at this stage, he needs to actually be releasing all 3 of the bonds that have been created at the case, and he also needs to release his bond because he is accessing the Sescovy Trust. So I'm just going to quickly read out a little cheeky little number from canon law. So under the Sescovy Trust, Canon 1298, failure to disclose or admit on request the existence of the Sescovy Trust instead of the beneficiary relationship to an estate constitutes as a fundamental breach of duties of any administrator or executor of the estate, and it's the most serious fraud requiring immediate removal and punishment. So what we've done here, we've now expressed the fact we know you're leaning on the trust, we know you're leaning on the full, and this is all confirmed by canon law, which you're subject to. So we've got a bit of a situation here. What the judge needs to do before we go any further, he needs to hand over all of the bonds, or he needs to vacate the entire case and cancel the cheques. We're well aware the warrant is just a cheque. That's all it is, mate. You might not know that, but the judge knows it, because the judge is not a judge, he's a banker. The judge cannot be a judge because of Secret Society Act 1910. He's in the secret bar society, and therefore he cannot operate as a judge in the land of England.
Okay.
And of my understanding and my research, he's also an Octagon Templar. Would you like to confirm or deny that?
I'm not making a comment.
So it's just another, again, it's just a standard thing. It's just it's over the mortgage dispute. Again, no one can prove anything. It's the same old argument that I won't repeat. And again, just people turning up without any legitimate paperwork. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And this time it's been confirmed over the phone that they're just literally writing themselves the warrants. We've also had some very other interesting information, again, disclosed today about the warrants and what the actual judge holds and what the judge actually is. But I won't go on about that now, because I believe that'll be getting popped into another video later.
Right, you've seen the footage. It's the quickest I've ever seen a bailiff shift, I think, you know what I mean? It was like a whippet, gone. And as you've probably seen, tried to run someone over as well, a friend of mine. The locksmith chipped up straight away. He seemed to be in charge, the locksmith. He says, come on, let's just go, let's leave them to it. They soon turned round on their heels and was walking down, so the likes of you, BANAMAN, and other people were following them and questioning them and all that lot. There was a female stayed in the car. The guy who I spoke to, the bailiff, he got in his car, couldn't drive away straight away because people were surrounding him, asking him this, that and the other, but eventually, anyway, you know, he tried to run someone over, basically.
Equivo, what do you make of them?
they're really sweet. They're quite comical. They literally haven't got a fucking clue what they're talking about. He's meant to have legal training, and apparently when I'm reading out primary legislation, secondary legislation and canon law, I'm just saying numbers. So I do question his training, I really do.
Who are you fighting for? I know what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for my grandkids and anyone else in the future generations. Like when you plant a tree knowing you're not going to be under the shade of it, but you're doing it for someone else. So that's all I've got to say really on the matter.
Don't need to interrupt you. Is there any chance we get go? I've got to get you up Liverpool, mate. So.
Oh fuck it, yeah. All right. Listen, oh shit, I've got a minute.
Just before you go, I just want to say to you, and what I said to Mikey here, he seemed pretty pleased about.